come in here and go, oh, you let people touch things? Because that's really not good for preserving them in a sense. But Inez wanted a museum that people could touch things. So when Minius gave the piano, they gave the piano with the stipulation that it be played, and that we had to keep it tuned twice a year. And it's a harpsichord piano. I think there were 4 or 5 made like this, and I think it's 1865. But it's got a heck of a story. It's got a heck of a story. Okay, then what I wanted to show, so they formed a board, okay, the museum board, and the museum board came out of here. And you still have to be a member. And then this is the officer level, okay? And Inez was the curator, and she had volunteers. Some of the volunteers came from here, some of them didn't. Okay? And she was a good taskmaster. She knew every week the museum had to be vacuumed, and she made sure it was. Okay? And furniture polished. Okay? And glass polished. So Alicia remembers coming in when she was a little girl with her grandma, and grandma would have her polish the glass on the cases. That was one of her. And they had a picnic. But as Inez got old, she became sick about this time. Okay, and she died in 2001. But as she became sick, leadership waned. Okay? So there's the problem with the autocratic leader is leadership waned. The board was there, but the board really laid on Inez in some ways, and there were strong members, but when Inez got sick, things got, and then after I think the board actually asked her to resign, which must have been a tremendously difficult thing to do with this strong lady who built this house.
May I say something?
Yeah.
What I remember about her, because I started working here in about 97, was she drove to the end. You know, she was stubborn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It didn't matter how bad her driving was, she was going to drive.
She was going to drive. But, you know, that's a great analogy because she was a driver. Not just in a car, but in her leadership style was a driver. And you can think about projects you've been on that worked in a democratic way and came out really great. And you can think about projects you've been on where you had a driver. And you know, I think she delegated early, but I think delegation became harder and harder. And she knew what she wanted, and it was going to happen, come hell or high water. So when she died, Opal became the curator. Okay, and Opal Martin, I don't know, anybody know Opal? But they dedicated the stadium to her husband because those guys started the Grid Kids. Opal's husband started the Grid Kids stuff, Cliff and Gustafson. And Opal's job was to kind of keep things tranquil and let things move on. And nothing happened for a while. Okay? And about 2002 or 3 or something, we began to change a little bit, and board members began to get old and leave, and new board members began to come on, and we didn't have burglar alarm system. We didn't have a fire alarm system. It was all incapacitated. So I went out and I raised $10,000. That Rotary started us, and people pitched it. This is Prosser. And it's a kind of place that if you go out and you ask and you have a good reason, people pitch in. They care about, my sense is they care about the town. No matter how much we fight, and we do fight, and that fight's been going on for years. So the second mayor was thrown out of office because of it. He became mayor later, again. But look, there is a community sense, too, that crosses that, if you will.
Well, and case in point, we were just mentioning